This is TNT Sports' Adam Summerton, and you're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.
Good evening and welcome to the latest episode of Three Fish on the Shirt with myself, Dave Dixon, and my colleague and fellow mariner, Steve Risley. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening, Dave. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Just to remind everybody, we're available on YouTube mainly, and then audio, we're available on iHeart. We're available on Amazon Music now as well, and we're available on Podbean and Apple Music. So if you have trouble getting hold of us, drop us a note or comment, and we'll try and find out how to get on that platform for you. So, Steve, a very positive record tonight for the podcast, following our second victory of the week and a great week for the club overall. Win against Accrington on Tuesday, which we've covered in the last episode. Morecambe 3-0 yesterday. What did you make of it?
Well, I was pretty confident, to be honest, after Tuesday night and knocking 5 in. I thought going to Morecambe, although near the bottom, but they were on a bit of an up. I think they were out the bottom two, but I was quite confident we were going to get 3 points. And I listened to it. I didn't watch it. I listened to it, and I wasn't actually nervous listening to it. Normally, I'm like the commentator. Oh God, they're going to score here against us, but I just listened to it, and I sounded a great game. You watched it, I believe.
Yeah, we looked really confident on the ball, and you know, as a team, we just played with so much confidence. I think Tuesday night must have given us a boost of confidence, because they just, even though the conditions were absolutely filthy, you just got the impression that they wanted to try and play football still. Which, had it gone wrong, you'd have been playing hell about, but. They just played so well, and I was never in doubt. There was one or two moments where I thought they were going to maybe press our goal. There was one which I shared yesterday, the ball that went across, and it was just right in front of the striker and nobody in front of him, right in front of the goal. And Hume and Wright both got back to stop it going in, and how that wasn't a goal, I'll never know. And then when we went on to
I saw that save,
score the third. That was a nice ending to the game, given that at any stage, if we'd have gone 2-1, got pulled back to 2-1, I think we might have got the jitters a little bit. But you're never safe until the final whistle goes. But it was as comfortable a performance as
listening to the commentary, like Matt Dean and Craig Disley, and Craig Disley was like, really couldn't believe the difference.
You almost felt like he had a cigar on, didn't you, Craig? He was.
Yeah, he was like.
He was comfortable.
Honestly, I expect him to win now every time we play away, and it never used to be like that. And Craig Disley he couldn't believe it was the same team that he watched a couple of months ago into commentary. They look so much more comfortable on the ball. We saw that on Tuesday night, and the confidence, and it's all come from David Artell, I think, over the last year. That confidence and telling he gives players belief,
Yeah.
that they're good players,
Yeah.
and believe it. And Kieran Green, he's like a different player, to what he was last season. Biggest difference I've seen in it is him.
Yeah, if we go through the goals, I mean, first goal, I think Hume got it down the left, knocked it to Green, and Green sort of halfway line and just gets forward really quickly. Then doesn't he? His sole role is to get us forward.
He got the ball. I mean, I think he gets a bit of luck with the ball, but he still does a little turn and.
Yeah,
he's a bit of skill. I think my nephew said he's turned into a Pirlo.
Yeah, there's quite a few different names going around for him. What was it? It says Grenadine Zidane.
Grenadine Zidane, that's a good one.
Yeah,
but he does a bit of skill, and then he actually puts the pass in. He's all right.
So I mean, he did like a Cruyff turn on the halfway line, and then you could see he's thinking, right, we need to get forward now, and we seem to have perfected this sort of diagonal transition now, don't we? That we've got somebody running on the other side, and a big diagonal ball brings them in. So recall Hume giving Green it at Gillingham was a bit like yesterday, cutting in from that left hand side, big diagonal ball, and this time it was a Bikwu on the end of it.
Tuesday night,
Tuesday
night, Hume the ball to is it Bikwu or Luca's goal? I can't remember.
Yeah, they were both a bit like that. Yeah,
crossfield pass, cut inside, and then similar goals.
It was Luca's goal because the Bikwu goal was their left winger passed it back to the keeper from the halfway line and missed.
But, so there is this setup,
and I think Green's been given that role to get us forward, Don't matter if you. And I think one of the things that helps with the confidence, and from the times I've heard him speak, both at the fans forum and other times, it's if you're doing what I want you to do, and it goes wrong, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing what we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
If you're doing different, then that's something else. But
that's right. Yeah. So if he says, "Oh, he does what he's supposed to do,"
if it doesn't come off, then I'll back
it. Does something he's not supposed to do. We go, why did you do that? I mean, I'm not told you to do that.
Yeah.
Sort of thing,
and one of the other things we're good at this season is winning the ball back. How many times have we, particularly Hurst teams, we'd sit back off the ball and just let teams come at us a bit too much.
We lost the ball, yeah.
And
sit back
with
a bit
McEachran this year and Green, we're just winning the ball back a lot more than it feels like we are. I haven't got any stats.
Oh, I know you are. Yeah,
you can
just in the highlights of the game, I saw Luca.
Yeah,
he won the ball back a couple of times at the crucial times for the goal.
Yeah, I think the second goal came from that as well. It was scrappy play in the middle of the centre circle, and there was a few legs in there. And Green just says, "Right, get out of the way. I'm having this."
He bulldozed his way through a little bit.
He did a little shimmy again and brought the ball out. And again, before you know it, he's knocked a Bikwu in, and that second finish was really cool. Just lifted it over the keeper.
I think because he's got strength. He's a big bloke, isn't he? He's solid, and I think sometimes he doesn't quite know what's going on with his feet, but it comes off, and then you think, "Oh, God,
big tall players often like that, aren't they?" And I think he's definitely looked stronger, a bit less bean-poley young lad, awkward, gangly young lad now, doesn't he? A Bikwu this time.
Yeah. A Bikwu, oh yeah, he's Craig Disley kept on saying what a unit he looks like now.
Yeah.
Compared to last time we had him on loan.
No, so I think that's true. And I heard him talking after the game yesterday, and he says he admitted he's a confidence player, and you can see that in his finishing. I mean, finish at the far post for the first one yesterday, second one just a neat lift over the keeper, and if you get that wrong, you end up hitting it straight at the keeper. It looks daft. So great finishes in their own right, and
that's right. Second goal where he dinked it over the keeper. I thought, keeper's gone down a bit easy.
Yeah.
But looking at it, he waited and waited. It looked like he was going to shoot. So the keeper went down and then he dinked it. So
you've got the confidence to do that, then, haven't you? In those circumstances, and I think off the back of that, he'll continue to grow in confidence. And if he keeps scoring, and he is such a confidence player, that'll help him keep going. Only issue was he got taken off with a bit of an injury, so I don't know if it was a tweak again or something, or whether it's something a bit more serious. But
yeah,
doesn't
true.
seem
Yeah.
to be too much worry. But we'll
No,
keep
well,
our
we've got
fingers
players
crossed.
coming back. Players coming back from injury now, and he's got that option now to take players off.
Yeah.
That's one thing Artell does. He says all the time, doesn't he? He says we're not taking any risks with players.
Well, John
take 'em off.
Tonder was talking about it on the episode where we had John on, and he was saying one of the inside tracks he'd got from David Artell that he was prepared to share with us was that David was worried about the second half of games and our performances in the second half of games, and particularly the lack of top class squad players. Not to do a disservice to some of the younger ones, but we were down to sort of first year pros. Gardner got a good run in the team, and did well, but you're struggling a little bit, and you're a bit more limited for what you can do. Whereas now we can bring off Van Thorsten, can bring on, who did you bring on yesterday?
Danny Rose,
captain. Danny Rose brought Danny Rose on Ainley, Callum Ainley,
Davis.
Yeah, Davis. I mean, what
Jordan Davis?
What great subs to be able to bring on. It's different again to bringing on a young lad, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like he said. He looks at the bench now. He said it, didn't he? He said, "I've got options now."
Yeah.
I'm quietly confident. But you can bring your captain on. Captain.
So Morecambe came back into it a little bit, but Town continued to get forward. Had a few chances. There was one where I think it was Green had a shot, and the keeper looked to be going the wrong way, and then stuck his hand out and got his hand to it, which was one opportunity. Davis hit the bar with that hell of an effort, wasn't it? And that
was hell
kind
of
of
a shot.
shows his class. And a bit of bad luck really on his part that it wasn't a half-inch lower, because I think it would had been it skimmed the bar and gone in.
He's only been on the pitch for about a minute, hasn't he?
I think so. Yeah. And then you've got Denver Humes had a fantastic game again getting us forward. Didn't defend too bad yesterday either, which he's had a few criticisms for. But the idea for us is we defend as a unit. So, but he created the goal as well at the end. So got Rose right in front. And again, last year they're the sort of chances we'd have created and probably missed. I mean, Holohan had a chance a bit like Rose's chance in that very game, Morecambe away, when we drew, I think. And similar position to Rose, and he hit it over the bar, just spooned off his foot. But the way we're playing at the minute, bang, it's in 3-0. Thank you very much. So
it's good. Another substitution was Curry, wasn't it? Evan Curry.
Yeah,
he's rested him now for a couple of games, taking him out, and he's been, he's not scored any goals, but he's been consistent, really consistent. But he's got that option to rest him.
Yeah, and I think Corey's done so well, hasn't he? He probably deserves a little bit of a rest and can come back.
Yeah,
and come back even stronger. But nobody can criticise Corey's efforts this season at all. I don't think.
No. And then he brings him on as was it left back or left wing back?
He did on Tuesday night, didn't he?
Tuesday night, he did, yeah.
So
he can play.
He's got options.
Definitely.
So that we nearly got back to a positive goal difference, or a neutral goal difference. We're -1 now, so that's taken a big chunk out of it in 1 week, though. 6.
That is, yeah.
6.
I was wondering if we could get into the top 3 with a minus goal difference.
That'd have been interesting. We've taken 6 out of it in the week, which is the 3 from the other night in the 5-2 victory against Accrington, and the game yesterday. So that's a good chunk of it out the way in 1 week. And
you can look at the week. We've scored. We won at home.
Yeah.
We scored 8 goals and we've had a clean sheet away.
Tick.
So
tick.
Tick.
3 ticks in the box. Yeah. So and Town up to 5th in the table with 31 points, joint with Crewe, who are next week's opponents. So that'll be makes for an interesting match.
Yeah.
On Saturday, a bit of a tougher test and a bit at home. So I hope for a good crowd, and we'll see if our improvement at home is going to be continuing.
David Artell's old club and the return of Mr. Bogle if he plays.
Yeah, and we beat them in his first game at home, didn't we?
We did 2-1. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
so
that was a
Crew
great game by Glennon. If I remember, he had a great game that day.
Crew weren't quite as up the table as they are this year, mind, but nonetheless. So down to fifth, looking very healthy in the table. It is early doors still before Christmas, but if
I would have
say at
thought.
the start of the season when he said 19 games
Oof.
gone, fifth with about 3/4 of the points you got last year, what do you reckon? Would you take that? You say yes, please.
I think so. I think 3 more games were safe. So
yeah, we were stranded on 20 something points for forever, as I remember, and it's just so frustrating when that happens. But this season, no, long may it continue. So the away form is unbelievable. We'll come back to that in a minute. I just wanted to go through a few of the players who've really stood out over the last few games and for various different reasons, and see what you're thinking. First one on the list was Jordan Wright. So
yes,
dropped after a bit of a poor spell. Eastwood came back in and had that horrific injury at Carlisle.
Yeah,
Wright came back in and admitted he's playing out from the back had distracted him a little bit from his keeping duties. And since he's come back in, I think he's been brilliant. And in the last 2 games, particularly, I think he's been fantastic. What do you think? What do you think of him, and what have you seen?
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw him pre-season, and he looked against Cleetown. He looked really, really good. Saying, like you say, he had a bit of a dip in confidence, but I don't think he's put a foot wrong since he's come back. You know, I mean, that Accrington goal where he played from the back, but it wasn't his fault as such because it was
Cass half controlled it and half passed it back.
Yeah,
all he had to do was turn around and go up the pitch.
That's right.
So, I'm not blaming him for that one.
No, I don't think Jordan Wright's done anything wrong
he
since
made
he's come back.
An absolutely fantastic save the other night as well, if you remember that one right in the top corner.
That was a fantastic save.
Which was unbelievable.
He's a really
pretty good save yesterday from a free kick in the opposite corner that he managed to keep out, which was good.
Yeah. No, I think he's looking a lot better. A keeper we thought he was going to be when he came to town.
Yeah. So keepers, it's always difficult because they make one mistake and it really shows.
Yeah.
One striker misses something and it's gone. If the minute he scores, that's gone, isn't it? And
he's only youngish for a keeper.
Yeah. And he saved a penalty in this run as well, hasn't he? So yeah, it was.
He's looking good, looking very good.
Next one on the list was Denver Hume. Had a few critiques of his defending. I don't think can criticise his going forward. He looked absolutely brilliant going forward, and I think over the last 2 or 3 games, I think he's looked better defending as well.
He has. I mean, if he could defend really well all the time, he will be playing in this league. He'll be in Championship.
Yeah.
Going forward, he's Championship quality.
Well, he comes out and he's a bit like another a bit more skillful, a bit more technical than Green, but he'll come out, bring us forward, and that sets us off on the attack because they don't know where to go. Other teams don't know whether to press, whether to stay, because he comes far in, doesn't he?
He turns in, and then he comes in field a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, do they close him down, or do they stay in the position?
And they're not expecting it. And the other night, Accrington would press in like in a sort of arrow shape, narrow at the front and not so wide at the wide in the middle. And they were totally knackered by him and Svan Thorsen getting forward.
That's right. Yeah.
Unbelievable. So he's been great, and I think, like I say, created the goal the other night, and you can see him creating all sorts of mischief as he brings us forward in our play. Makes us more exciting to watch as well, I think.
Yeah, he's improved. He's always been good attacking, but he has improved defensively now. He's not being turned like he was been doing.
Yeah. So that's their first two. Next one we've already mentioned briefly, Kieran Green. We've mentioned it at the start of the season. A few eyebrows raised when he got the early contract extension, but I don't think anybody would disagree with it now. And I think a lot of people who slagged him off previously are eating humble pie now. And although I said it was limited ability, I think somebody's decided that he's got a plan for him, and I think that's again down to Artell.
DA, he's been coached. Yeah, he's seen something in him, and he's honestly, I've never seen a player change from one season to this season.
The fans forum, Dave Artell talked about his individual improvement plans. And if there's anybody must have worked for, it's Greeny, because he's just on a mission, isn't he? And it looks like he's been given his mission, and that's what he's confident to do and he's prepared to do. And he's totally confident about it. He's not just that. When he used to come on and we wanted somebody just to come and get stuck in, that's what he was. That's what we thought he was.
Yeah, just come in and rough people up a bit.
Yeah, and get stuck in. But he's much more than that this season, and I think that's what's taking people by surprise. And I think his biggest mission is when we've got the ball going forward. He's still got that bit of steel about him tackling, but going forward, brilliant, and gets us forward quickly, gets the other team panicking.
Yeah, just runs with the ball, get it into get as far forward as you can, as quick as you can.
Yeah,
and then, but he's not just doing that. He's keeping the ball and setting goals up.
Yeah, so. And there's nothing more proof of that than yesterday. And I think the beauty of it is that he's, it must have come from that plan. They must have got into him and said, how can we use this guy, better?
Yeah.
Because they must have thought a lot of him and he's wholehearted. And I actually think the other thing about the strategy for getting him to do that is around what Artell was talking about previously when he said, I want our team to have the other team running the other way, because it's not very nice. When you're defending, you're under pressure and you're literally panicking. Where's it going? And I'm running the wrong way here. That's where you want your opponents to be. Remember back to my early mentions in this very podcast of do what the opposition don't want you to do, and that is run right at them. And I think that's what we're doing now with him, and I think we're using him for that. So massive hats off for him, and I think he's the find of the season. He's like a new signing, isn't he?
Yes, he is, and if he keeps it up, he's going to be Player of the Year. Just got to keep him fit.
Absolutely, and I think to some extent everybody was enjoying the fact that he was playing like he was, and probably expecting him to drop off again, but he just hasn't, has he? I mean,
no. I think it's a new haircut as well helps him. I think
streamlined,
disguises him.
No, he's absolutely superb, and long may we continue applauding his efforts. The next two, talking about new signings and Greeny being like one, are two new signings, which were Jaden Luca. Looks to have given us an extra dimension going forward in the last couple of matches at least.
Yeah.
And again, makes us exciting to watch.
Yeah, it's a different, Danny Rose has not started last two games, but I think it's to get a bit more pace up front, and a bit more directness maybe with Luca.
More players with that pace to get going forward as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so So I mean, Danny Rose, he has got an injury, this underlying. I can't remember what it was now, but he's got that injury, and he can't. He's 30 in his 30s. Probably can't play every game.
Yeah.
Like he does, because he does give his all when he plays.
The other thing about Danny Rose, and
careful with him.
What we've said about him is, he's been flogging a dead horse a lot of the time, hasn't he? When he's been the only thing that's kept us going sometimes, and now he's got the ability to give him a bit of support. Then why wouldn't he? Why would he not?
That's right. He's got these players in, Luca and Abikwa. So he's starting to use them now. He's got the options, hasn't he? He's got the options to use them.
Luca particularly. Saw him for the first time the other night, in quantity, if you like, and again yesterday, and I like what I see, and I'm impressed.
Yes.
So again, long may that continue. And Abikwa himself looks a bit awkward at times, as big players can tend to, and I think that's sometimes where and I've done it myself. I think they look lazy players like that sometimes when they're when it's not quite going for them, or they're chasing a lost cause. The gait, the way the run is looks laboured, and I think
it does.
You tend to, and it's probably a lazy analysis to say that they're lazy, but I think given his finishing now, he's on the ball. Let's say.
No, players are similar. Like Jamil Matt when he was at Town, I was thought he was a little bit sort of gangly and lazy, but he's not sprinters, not
no.
And Abiku was similar, and there was
strength and a bit of pace, isn't it?
Yeah, and and Pike as well, similar sort of player, but I think Abiku was a better player, better finisher.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, he's been injured. When he came to the club, didn't he?
He's got the same thing as Danny Rose, hasn't he?
He had a bit. Yeah, that's right. He had an injury, so he's slowly. Those 2 goals yesterday will give himself load of confidence.
Yeah, well, that's 3 in a week as well. Three goals in a week. So
yeah,
that's nice for him to do that. As I say, if he is a confidence player that he says, there's nothing better than getting 1 goal and getting 2 goals. So hat trick next.
Yeah, hat trick next. The big woo.
That'll be just the job on it. So that was me 5 to watch, and I think that's the impressive thing about picking a few out over the last few games. You can't normally do that. You can normally only pick 1 or 2 out, but in those last 2 or 3 games and that little run away from home, they're the players that stood out for me.
That's it. And then we've got a clean sheet yesterday, and McJannet. We don't talk about him, but
I forget he's there half the time, and that's not. I don't mean that in a nasty way.
He's like,
he's just
he's
no
been
bother,
superb.
is he?
Yeah, you just don't know. He's just doing his job, isn't he? But, they don't get the plaudits.
Like Ray Keane says, it's your job.
That's his job, honestly.
Get on with
straightforward.
It's his job. It's his job. What does he want? A medal?
Absolutely. And Rodgers. They seem to have formed a.
Rodgers is a confidence player as well.
But McJannet is just like ice cool.
He is, and I think, like I say, you forget he's there because like a Rolls Royce, just does his job and moves. But Rodgers, if he has a dodgy spell, people get on his back a bit, and and you can see it. We had that game last year where it drained out of him. Not seen that again, but
not seen that. But he scored some goals as well.
I mean, 2 or 3 goals, hasn't he, this season, Rodgers?
Yeah, that goal he scored Tuesday night. When we played, I think it was Notts County game we went to, and he scored a similar goal, sort of on the turn.
Yeah,
that night. Yeah, and I was trying to think of another game when he scored that he on the turn. It was a good finish.
Yeah, it was, and he scored the header at Carlisle as well. I think it was very.
So he's got 3 goals.
His turn is very on centre half like, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so he's the one that gets forward. McJannet just stays at the back and just looks after everything.
And it was right in front of the Accrington fans where he scored the other night, which is somewhere that he spent a lot of time, and he got a lot of slaps on the back, even from the Accrington bench the other night when he went off. I noticed.
Oh, did he? Yeah, I know he didn't celebrate. I don't want many fans there, but at least
I think he's suspended now because he got booked yesterday. And I think that's his. According to Matt Dean, that's his. He's had his chips now, so that'll be a 1 match off. So that'll be next week.
Yeah, I believe all the back 4 were only 1 card away from suspension.
Yeah.
So I know Warren is not playing now, but so is Cass. But Roger.
Cass has been doing okay.
Yeah,
slipped up the other night, but it happens. But he looks aggressive again.
He does. Nice wouldn't like to meet him. Wouldn't like to meet him in a dark alley.
Yeah, it's brave of that bloke to have a go at him after that in that game the other week as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, so coming on to that, and so we've already touched on it, but 6 wins out of 7 away from home. When not in, let's say, last year or so, we couldn't even remember 2 wins back to back. Never mind 2 away wins back to back.
That's right. Yeah.
And our away form was appalling for a number of years, wasn't it? But to be in the middle of this run now is unbelievable.
I just think, like Matt Dean was saying, what's changed? What's changed? And I don't think anything's changed. I think it's just been progression.
Yeah,
I'm honest. From where David Artell now is getting what he the players know exactly what they're supposed to do, and it's just progression. It's not a step change, if you like, but it's just getting there. And he keeps on saying, we're getting better, we're getting better. And I'll tell you what, we are.
Yeah,
believe him.
Yeah, it's just difficult to sell that off the back of a 3-1 home defeat or something like that, isn't it? Or a 1-0.
It is,
game against Colchester, where we could have won that game. They could have won it, which they did. Could have been a draw. Probably ought to have been a 0-0. But we lost it. But as he said earlier in the season, Carlisle, years gone by, we'd have lost that game. And when we got to be drawing it after 82 minutes, whatever it was, 2-2, he still went to try and win it. I don't think Paul Hurst would have done that. I'm not criticising Hurst. There's different. Hurst would have gone on for the point. He said, let's do it. And, in that way, that's why we're probably not drawing many, let's say.
No, he's a bit different manager to. He's a coach, isn't he? Artell.
More of a
Hurst
coach.
was a bit reactive. Didn't brought subs on late when we go goal behind, and Artell's proactive.
And he's had a little bit more resource now to be able to do that. Whereas early in the season he hadn't, and we've already touched on that. But since we lost at home to Barrow, although we've won 9, drawn 1, and lost 8, our form since Barrow is we've played 13, won 8, drawn 1, lost 4, 19 scored, 16 let in. So we've got better, and that shows that's 24 points from the last 13 matches out of the 31 we've got. So it's pretty good going.
8 wins, 1 draw.
Yeah, and 4 defeats out of 13 games.
25 points, yeah.
Oh, 25, sorry, yeah. That's my maths.
Yeah, sorry.
Put that in the Christmas outtakes.
I'll look after you. Boop. So 25 points, yeah.
We still have to train you now how to work out when a football match starts and finishes based on the time it starts.
Yeah. So, don't worry, I'll look after you, mate.
I know you do. Yeah, it's good. So
it proves I listen to you. This is the thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Excellent. So we talked about what a good week it's been for the club. We've had the 2 wins, almost the obliteration of our negative goal difference, 6 points, 8 goals, and we've also had a clean sheet, and we've also had the youth team come up with the goods on Friday night. That was really heartwarming and fantastic. So they got through the last round, got drawn against West Ham at home, who were the holders of the FA Youth Cup. And I think for most part, everybody was behind them, but were probably thinking it was a daunting task. But they stuck to the task and got the job done.
Yeah, fantastic. Neil Wood's doing a great job. Hopefully, we'll see some of them players come through to the first team.
It'd be nice to think so.
David Artell's always said that in a few interviews, and he said they'll always have a chance when I'm here.
Have you seen the goal?
Yes, good goal.
So
really good goal.
Had it with the keeper, he knocked it forward. It goes out to the left, and you can see West Ham are just backing off, letting us play with it a little bit on the edge, thinking there's no danger. And it gets whipped in for Grayson Giles just to nod it past the keeper. Cracking goal.
Lovely finish.
Good,
really good finish. Yeah. And all the subs celebrating, coming on the pitch. Yeah. Can we come on the pitch or not? And I think,
there's a great shot of them running over to the corner, pointing at the cameraman, saying, "Quick, get your photo taken."
I see that. Yeah.
I'll put it on the footage when I edit it in. That there's him running towards the camera, and then I've got the picture as well. So I'll show that. I was really pleased for him.
It's a real good week for the whole club.
Yeah, and that kind of just gives you. It must be a boost for everybody to see the young lads doing so well, because it kind of shows that at every level the right things are happening.
Yes, that.
And Neil Woods is really highly thought of as a youth coach as well.
Yeah, was David Artell there Friday night?
Yes,
he was.
Yeah, and Sean Pearson. And
you see, they're all. He's there. They're there for every game, aren't they?
Yeah, and the lads that were gathered for the away trip. I don't know if they were over here or whether they'd already travelled. Were watching it online. There was pictures of them watching it online.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He said all the lads are behind the boys. So no, great to see, heartening for the future, and let's say just a cracking week for the club. So we come back to our little feature we have, Steve, which I've now named X-Town Analytics in homage to the secretive organisation that calls Jamestown Analytics, which we can't find much out about, which is quite deliberate by the sounds of it.
Yes, it is, yeah.
So I've called this slot X-Town Analytics, where we search for X-Town players doing really well. So did you come up with anything this week, Steve?
Well, I come up with 4 players. And
I got 4 and a tenuous link to town, with nothing to do with town.
Oh, have you? All right.
I've got an extra one, but it's not.
Do you want me to list what I've got?
Yeah, go on. I think if we've both got 4, I'm putting money on it's the same 4. But go on.
I've got Jamil Matt
for
Walsall
against Walsall for their 1-0 win at Port Vale, which is a good result for them.
Yeah, he was here on loan. The famous Omar Bogle scored for Crewe.
Yeah,
against the Artel's old club.
Against Bradford. Yeah, 1-1 draw.
Bradford. Yeah, it was 1-1.
Yeah,
I believe. And Andy Cook didn't get a goal, so
good.
Just for a change. And then I can't say his name now. Yisami.
Yeah.
Jayasami.
Yeah.
Who was here on loan from Norwich.
Yeah, for Orient.
Scored for Leyton Orient in League One. And the Mr. Pepple.
Arabin Pepple.
Who scored a hat-trick
against Brentwood in the FA Trophy.
For Southend.
In 17 minutes.
Exactly what I've got written down on my sheet here. Yeah. 17 minutes.
Yeah,
excellent. Yes, and he was pretty useless here, but he was only young lad, isn't he?
So. He was, yeah. And I think it probably shows how good he is at a certain level. Whether he'll realise that higher up, he may well do. He may well not, but he's clearly got something. For me, when we had him, I thought he was a big lad. He obviously had some skill, but he didn't know how to use his physical presence well enough.
No.
And I thought that was a bit of a shame because he's obviously, got that presence. And I think the only time I saw him use it was a 3-0 win against Crawley. It was the one where Glennon scored with that free kick in the top corner in the first minute.
Oh, yeah.
And the third goal was Ryan Taylor's goal.
Yeah.
And he kind of roughed the defender up and the ball came loose. And went
loose to Taylor?
Yeah, and went straight to Taylor. And that's the
only time, wasn't it?
Only time I can remember him, putting his body on the line and it coming to any good. The only other thing I found was that George McEachran's brother scored. That's a bit too tenuous a link.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scored for Oxford City in the first minute in their win over Hadley. The other thing about the Jayasimi goal was that it was in the second minute of injury time and it was goalkeeper assisted. So goalkeeper launched the ball clear. The defender let it bounce on the edge of the other penalty area. And it was a bit like a Bickwoo's goal against Tranmere, where the goalie didn't come, or in that case, the goalie did come. The defender didn't go for it, and he nipped in between them and put it in the net. So it was a goalkeeper assisted.
All counts, same as the 30-yarder in the top corner.
Yeah, same as it hitting your ass and going in by accident as well. So yeah, good for him. So that's the X-Town Analytics out of the way. Next up is Crewe on Saturday, and then we're into the Christmas fixtures, which is always a challenging time. So we've got some games coming up against Harrogate, Port Vale, who we haven't played yet. So there's some tough games there. It'd be nice to get one over Harrogate for beating us at Christmas last year.
Yeah, and Swindon.
Well, we've got Swindon as well, which is a themed event for Ghostbusters, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they won. They won yesterday, didn't
they? Yeah. Well,
it's
a fluke.
Yeah. So we've got Swindon away, our next away game. So we've got 3 at home in the next 4 games.
Yeah. And then we're back to the start again with Accrington.
On New Year's Day.
On New Year's Day, and then we're back into playing everybody for a second time. So
it's going to be a big game next Saturday against Crewe. Keep Mr. Bogle.
It has a lot of bearing on where the form goes for the next few weeks, doesn't it? Into the sort of Christmas
Mm.
period, and how you come out of it, sets the tone for the rest of the season, for the business end, doesn't it?
Yeah, top 3 by end of the year. That's
Would it
what
be?
I am
Would
hoping
it, would
for.
it not be fantastic? We can dream.
Would
And
you believe? Would you have believed that if we said that at the start of the
we
season?
wouldn't have put ourselves in this position. I think most people would have settled for progress being higher than our 11th, finishing our first season back.
Yeah, I
Um,
quite like David Artell said he doesn't look at the league table, but he's got an unerring knack of knowing where we are.
yes, I know you said that.
It just makes me
Previously.
laugh. He says, well, if we're not a good team, there's a lot of teams below. We're 7th, he'll say, and I go, well, didn't think you look at the league table?
Yeah. He contradicted himself.
Yeah,
I think get his point. I think it's always
Yeah.
difficult with managers. If he says one thing, if he says, "Oh, we're going to go for the playoffs and whatever," he's
Yeah.
setting a target that everybody's going to shoot at him for. If he says, like he said last year, we won't go down,
Yeah.
that was used as a stick to beat him with. And what him say? Oh, yeah, I think we'll go down. There's only 2
Yeah.
possible answers, isn't there? You think we
That's
will, or
it,
you don't
yeah,
think we
so,
will. Back yourself, for God's sake. So I thought that was really harsh, that.
Yeah.
And I talked about it in the last episode following the Accrington game the other night. It was he's had his year up now, hasn't he? So I think
Yeah, he said it would take about a couple of years before he gets his philosophy across, 2 to 3 years, and I think it's happening a bit quicker. If I'm honest.
Yeah,
So
it'd be nice to see it rumbling on. So lots going on at Christmas. We'll have a few episodes over the Christmas and New Year break. We'll have one after the Crew game next week. And then we'll have a look at the forward look to see what our schedule looks like over Christmas. I'm sure there'll be some fun and games. So on that note, we'll end there.
Just got one thing. Just one thing I want to mention.
Any other business? I like it.
And I was going to say we need an
injury
AOB.
Time. It's time.
Just mention that.
Sorry, the 4th official. Hang on. Wait. The 4th official has indicated there'll be 1 minute for added time for stoppages. 1 minute.
Minimum.
Thank you for coming to support today. Go on, Steve, sorry.
Just want to mention about Tommy Widgerington.
Oh yeah. God bless him. Hope he's on the mend.
Yeah, he's had a two strokes, hasn't he? Confirmed.
I didn't know that's what it was. All I saw was that he'd been taken ill while at home alone.
Yeah,
and
there was a statement. He got. He was in Southend Hospital, and I did extensive tests on him.
Yeah,
and Dave just reminded me because Pepple scored for Southend, and then I remember reading about Tommy going to hospital in Southend. And he was there for about a week. I did tests, and he's had 2 strokes. And I think he said he's home now, and he's just trying to recover.
Sure, that's bad do then, isn't it? Oh well, our best wishes and speedy recovery to Tommy Widgerington. Well thought of at town. It was a big signing when we got him in, wasn't he?
And, he was. I liked him.
Yeah,
I liked him.
Yeah. Signing somebody from a club like Southampton was a big deal for us.
Yeah.
And then,
I can just remember him. There was some protest on the pitch. Some fans came on with a banner. I can't remember what the protest was about, but he ripped the banner from the fans and ran off. Well, chucked it off the pitch. So you don't come on, do that.
Yes.
So he was a passionate player.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the output of a stroke on somebody, and it's horrific. If you get the full weight of what can happen in a stroke, and you get the smaller ones like the TIAs where you can come back from them quite nicely. You get the ones like that can paralyze, which are absolutely so cruel. And
it's life changing,
and it can be life ending as well if they're bad enough as well. So it's probably a good time to remind everybody who's watching that the main things to look for are face. So if anybody's face drops to one side, or not be able to smile, or the mouth or eye may have dropped, is a sign. Arms. Anybody with suspected stroke may not be able to lift both arms because of weakness or numbness. Speech may be slurred or garbled. And time. It's really important to get in touch with 999 as soon as possible. So
as soon as possible. Yeah.
If you remember the acronym FAST. Face,
Fast. Yeah.
arms, speech, time.
That's it.
And I think it's well worth a mention since we're talking about stroke. And like I say, I've seen the how bad it can be, and in its worst case. So.
Yeah, my wife was ward manager on the stroke unit at Grimsby, and so it's instilled in me what you need to do fast.
Yeah.
And time is crucial, because like you get treatment as quick. There's certain treatment you can do that will offset the effects of a stroke.
Yeah.
Like you get it within the first hour.
Yeah,
you can be massive.
Yeah. And so if one person sees that or hears us say this and it helps, great. But we wish him well, and get well soon, Tommy, and I hope you make a full and speedy recovery.
Yeah, it says he's recovering well after suffering 2 strokes.
Yeah,
so
I didn't realise it was as serious as that. I just knew he'd been taken to hospital.
Yeah.
Thanks for mentioning that. I appreciated the update, and like I say, it gives us that chance to share a bit of info as well.
All the best, Tommy.
Public info, yeah. So on that note, we'll leave it. Up the Mariners. Looking forward to a busy set of games, and we'll see all our loyal followers, which is going well. We're getting nice figures on the viewers and the listeners and subscribers. So if you do remember to subscribe, if you like what we're doing, subscribing helps us. It helps us find more people who might want to watch it. Helps YouTube particularly, share our work a bit better going forward. So yeah, if you get a chance to do that, please subscribe. We always get more people subscribing when we ask than when we don't. So we don't like to badger you, but if you do get a chance, please do it. And we'll and get in touch if you want to as well. We're always happy to take people getting involved. And other than that, we shall see you in the next one. So thanks again.
Final whistle.
See you then, Steve. All the best.
Yeah.
Up the Mariners.
This is John Sander. You're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.